everyone, welcome to this video. Now, as you see by my setup, I have changed everything, so it's my tool shelves are actually behind me now, not one way off in the distance, and so changed some things. And I know I haven't uploaded a bit, but it also took me longer than I thought to read Red Rising. Probably due to the fact that I was working 8 days in a row for a bit and had to recover from that. I have another 8 days in a row scheduled, so I have a few other video ideas planned that aren't book reviews, but you know what? We can switch up everything when I just don't have time to read, which is going to be quite often, unfortunately. But yes, so as you can tell by the title, I have read Red Rising. Now, this is the second time I have read Red Rising. I read it once before in high school when I was like 17. But I don't think I ever did a review on it. And I started Golden Sun, but I never got past the first chapter. So we're going to change that now. Because I'm going to actually start reading. Those are in the wrong order. I'm going to start reading Red Rising again. However, to get me through reading the book faster, I did listen to the audiobook. I'm going to say that for those that are just like, how did this affect you so much or so little? And it's probably due to the narrator. Now the narrator for the audiobook, if you have not listened to him, oh my god, he has so much emotion. So it's like he is the character and it's not just someone reading it, which is actually just amazing and I love it. Now, for those of you who have not read Red Rising, God, go do so and then you can come back, and if you still want to watch them, alright, I guess, fine. Do what you want, do what you will, I have no control. This book is amazing. Pierce Brown, he's such a good author. Now, I don't typically like first-person books because there's just something off about them. But Daryl, the main character, is honestly so refreshing. There are some things that he does that kind of bring me out, and I'm like, oh my god. Because first person, at least I find one of the main points is to immerse you into the world, but once the character does something that you typically wouldn't do, even in their shoes, you kind of get pulled back, but that's just me personally. I know a lot of people actually prefer first-person books, but I like third-person. It's kind of the same with my gaming. I like third-person. I'm not huge for first-person games. I'm better off with third-person storytelling games. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the society. Now, as far as I know, everyone is split into these colors because they all have eyes and hair of this certain color. Gold's, obviously, gold hair, gold eyes. Now they're at the top. They lead everything. And for all the colors, there are obsidians, there are pinks, browns, grays, high reds, low reds, think there's violet somewhere in there. You know what? It's a very complicated world, and I actually like that. I like to be able to piece it together as I'm reading the next books, and I will continue to do that. So, the gold are in charge. Obsidians are like this freak kind of army where they just, their entire lives are fighting, I guess. And there are variations in golds. There are the Peerless Guard, there's the Pixies, and there's the Coppers, which are faded golds. And Pixies are just golds that relish in all of the splendors of the pinks and all of the, just everything. Grays, they're kind of like officers, I guess. Pinks, it would be entertainment. They're used for entertainment. Brown. Oh right, there's also greens and blues. Don't remember what they're all for because I haven't read this book in so long, so it was like reading it for the first time. But you know what? It was great. So yeah, all we need to know is there are low reds, high reds, and golds. Golds are at the top. Low reds are in the mines, and where Darryl came from, and they think that Mars is yet to be terraformed. Yet it's just bustling cities up on the surface, but they're lied to, they're made to believe that Mars is yet to be terraformed and that they're the only ones on Mars aside from the Greys, who give them the Laurel Tide, which is just their rations. And occasionally a gold will come from Earth or Luna, which is the moon, the Earth's moon. It's all very complicated. But yeah. So anyways, and then there are high reds, which are just basically your average servants, because they actually get paid. But they're not allowed to do a lot of stuff still. Now that's basically what the society is. Now Daryl, when we meet him, is a 16-year-old boy who has a wife named Io, and she has this dream. Because she knows that they are slaves, and that they are mistreated, and that there is something bigger going on. And so she turns herself into a martyr. Now, the song, Io's song, the Reaper's song, whatever, Persephone's song, whatever you want to call it, is so beautiful. I just can't help anything. There's so many layers to that song, and maybe I'll do a whole deep dive into it and analyze it one day, but not tonight. It is past 2 in the morning. Let's see, what time is it? It's 2:30 in the morning. And the reason why I'm speaking so quietly is because my mother is upstairs sleeping, so yeah. But Eva does that, and Darryl just tries to get himself killed, but then the Sons of Ares, who are the rebellion of this world, however, they're depicted as being terrorists, so we're not exactly sure what's actually going on with that. I'm still unsure if they are actually bombing places, but you know what? You can't know until, I can't know until I keep reading, so. Daryl, he is rash, he is just a pit of anger. Now, let me demonstrate this. So this egg, because I have wooden eggs just laying around, this egg, it's perfect because it's like red. This is Darryl. Now Darryl, most of the time, has his rage up to here. However, when he actually gets really mad, it fills everything up and turns this into just a ball of fire. And that's how he works. He has this ball of fiery rage for EO. And I love it. I love his dedication. But also, I kind of want him to get with Mustang, who is Virginia Augustus, who is Arch-Governor Augustus' daughter, who is the leader of the Golds, and Darrow's biggest enemy. Like, biggest enemy. And I'm kind of glad for Darrow that he got into the Arch-Governor's house as his lance. I don't entirely know what it means yet, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure I'll find out in Golden Sun. And it's just amazing. I love it. I also love how Mustang and Darrow just have this like kind of epic love story, almost, sort of, maybe. I'm still not sure if I can trust her. Still not sure. And another thing is, Darrow gets called. Darrow has his nickname early on in the game of the Institute, where they basically learn how to conquer. But Darrow, and his nickname is the Reaper. And Arch-Governor Augustus' son is called the Jackal. Now, they're basically just prime enemies right there. Darrow obviously embarrasses the Jackal, and I love it. And Mustang betrays her own twin brother, which, because I've read the book before, I knew it was going to happen, and I knew she wasn't actually a threat. But oh my god. Now, the Institute isn't what you would think it is. It's not. It's a school, but it's not a good school. So many kids die. In fact, half of them die on the first day. It's called the Passage, and they set one high draft, one low draft, in a room together, one ring, and only one can come out alive. And Darryl gets Cassius's brother Julian. Now Cassius is a Bologna, which is and the Bolognas have a blood feud, which with the Augustuses. Now, it's rather intriguing that they put Julian in with Darrow. I mean, they knew what they were doing, because Darrow had already made friends with Cassius, and oh my god. Cassius gets so angry when he finds out. Of course, Daryl hides it because he doesn't want Cassius to find out. But also because he hides it, it makes Cassius more angry, and then also tries to kill him. Cassius tries to kill Daryl, and then also at the end spits blood into Daryl's face, causing a blood feud. And it annoys the living shit out of me that Cassius is like this, because for all his supposed smarts, for all his being a natural gold, not one made like Daryl was, Daryl had to go through an excruciating surgery to be made into a gold from a low red, which is the lowest of the pyramid, because he should know that Daryl didn't have a choice. And frankly, Daryl didn't know how else to kill Julian, so he just punched the shit out of the kid. I wept for Julian. I wept for EO. But I am just angry at Cassius. It doesn't help when you just go off the rails like that. I mean, Daryl didn't have a choice. And it really frustrates me. Now, Mustang. No, not Mustang. Severo is one of my favorite characters in this whole thing because he was a low draft and pinned to not survive the passage. However, he did. And then he goes off on his own. He kills basically throughout the entire book he is walking around in a wolf pelt. Now for the second half of the game that the Institute has, that the Institute is, for half of the game, Daryl actually joins in the wolf pelts, but he doesn't have Severo by his side because everyone thinks he's dead. And, oh, it's so great. I love it, honestly. I do. Severo. He is the underdog. And also, at the end, he says that there was some static, and he couldn't hear the last words that Daryl said to Apollo, who Daryl killed, because there's all these different houses in this game, which were Bloody Down, which are a low red term. Well, it's probably just a red term, which is a red term, and that would peg him as a red. If Severo, I don't believe that they were static. I believe he just deleted that to save the boy that had saved Severo many, many times. And I'm living for it so much. I am really living for it. It's honestly great. I love it. I love every bit of it. Severo is... And also, Severo comes from a low gold family. And it's really sad, but also it makes him more human than the rest of the golds. And that was a nice little touch. But yes, in the end, Darrow wins. He humiliates the jackal. He wins the game. And he becomes the arch-governor's lens. At the same time, he had to forsake his fake family, which was not a hard decision, but it puts him in such a high point. It lets him actually get to be in such a high position that he will be able to take down the society with the Sons of Ares and Reds, and just the whole rebellion will actually work. And it honestly makes me so excited to continue onto this journey. Now that I have the books of the first trilogy. I know there's like a second trilogy that's Pierce Brown has within this universe, but I'm gonna wait on that. I'm focusing on this trilogy. So, it's a good book. I loved it. Despite it being first person, it was really great. High praises. Now, I believe that is it for this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye!